Hey, y'all.
Hey. Fun times tonight.
Right?
So thing changed here in StreamYard, so I don't know.
They're always making changes, aren't they?
I know. I really think I'm going to look at some of the other platforms for the first of the year after this. I don't know, man. This is starting to get everything seems to mess up on it all the time. So anyway, hey Robert, welcome in.
Hey Robert, good to hear you. See you. You know what we mean.
They do have some neat things they put in this week, but like I can do
well, fun.
I can do sound effects. All right. Yeah. This is my theory of their sound effects. Yeah. We can do background music.
Kind of like that chill. I like that vibe.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it. Kind of fun.
Then we got a train whistle.
Oh, that's a fun one. I like that.
And I can adjust the sounds onto it too, so I can make them louder. There we go.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, welcome to episode 163 of Like the Way You Drink. Tonight, some interesting things. I'm going to showcase and show, as well as talk about what we're doing tonight, what we're eating, what we're drinking. So I went on Amazon because I was trying to get these things to be able to do flights and taste your flight. I've got this wonderful little kit.
Oh, I love that. I need a picture of your flight. Hold on one moment.
Yeah. I'm going to put stuff into it right now. And
love it.
All right. But basically, it's a set of flight glasses with a tray. I'm probably going to get a second one so I can do. But anyway. And I'm gonna while we're doing, I'm gonna pour my things in there. Our episode tonight is a recipe that Gwen and I found many years ago, and we've originally found it in it was in a Weight Watchers recipe book, which we had tons of them.
Okay.
And I want to say it was the recipe dinner for two. And it's called Reuben Quesadillas.
Okay.
All right. It was the idea. And I mentioned it to Gladys and I said I wanted to do it, but I wanted to do it with ciders because one of the things that we put in ours is chopped up pieces of apple.
Okay. Yeah.
So that kind of goes with it. So, but if you think about a Reuben sandwich, then we do it into a quesadilla. All right, and then I made my own Russian dressing to go with. Did you make what you making Russian dressing?
I was going to try, but instead, I'm going to be using Thousand Island because you can, to a certain extent, substitute it if you want, depending on how you're utilizing it. Yeah. And I love Thousand Island, and it's about that, having that different texture. So that's what I'm going to go with is Thousand Island because I was looking for Russian, couldn't find it. You can substitute with Catalina or Thousand Island. And since I already have Thousand Island, I said, I'm going to go with that.
All right. So oh gosh. And I actually took the recipe. I left the recipe out in the kitchen. I actually found a recipe online and did it.
Okay.
And I'm going to go over my recipe and what I put into it. So Russian dressing.
I'm using a beef, what is it? Beamster Swiss. So that's what I'm using. So it's Murray's cheese. Yeah. It's one of the little blocks. It's I guess it's 0.18 pounds. So I guess it's about 2 ounces or so. And so I'm putting that in. But I also had a little bit of leftover Mexican cheese. So the cheese blend. So I'm throwing that in there. Even though it calls for Swiss, you really can put whatever cheese you want. Make it what you like. If you don't like Swiss cheese, then put provolone or put cheddar.
Try it. Yeah, we found what we liked was the Swiss.
Okay.
So my Russian dressing I found it looks like pudgefactory.com is where I got the recipe from. Okay. Mayonnaise. It says chili sauce. However, I used a majority of ketchup and a little bit of chili sauce. So it wouldn't be that spicy. It called for onions. I didn't have any chopped onions to put into it. Instead, I used some onion powder instead. and then some fresh parsley, some horseradish, some lemon juice, some sour cream, some dill pickles, and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and mix it all up.
That sounds yummy.
Yeah, this is let's see if I can get it close to the camera. And my lights are off tonight, so it's going to be off.
Yeah.
It really has a great taste. I tasted it, and I've actually put it on one of my quesadillas. Just kind of draped it on.
Huh.
All right. But I was going to make it so I could dip, but I still have some of it left out in the jar out there. So I'm going to put it just like my sauce. I'll put it in the refrigerator.
There you go.
Our drinks.
Yeah, sometimes you can use these dressings for
other things.
Or just, oh my goodness, I hadn't had corned beef in a long time. I went to the deli at Kroger.
Which is where we got ours.
I'm sorry?
Place. Yeah, same place. We got ours deli at Kroger.
Yeah, so they cut it all nice and thin, and as corned beef should be, especially if you're going to put in a quesadilla. So I'm kind of just chopping it up. You all are seeing me. It's been a long day. It's crazy day. It's crazy time of year for me. So hence why we started a little bit later because of me. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to be getting there, and I'm going to have to do the cooking while I'm there. But it's quesadilla. So this is not something you want to make ahead of time. At least I don't. And it cooks very quickly. So I thought it'll be just fine.
However, I've reheated these before, and I love them.
And how does that taste? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well,
you can put as much or as little as you want into these. I'm like, I think I might add a little bit more cheese. I do have some shredded cheese here and some Tillamook cheese.
Mm-hmm. So what we do is, and Gwen came home and made it for me tonight.
Yeah.
And she chopped the apples up. She chopped up the corned beef, and then she put the sauerkraut in a bowl and mixed that up.
Okay.
Then she added the mustard and added the cheese while she was doing the process of frying it in the pan before she put the second layer on top. Well,
so there was a couple of different Boar's Head had their sauerkraut, which I picked up, and then I found two different ones. The Simple Truth as well as another brand. And this one had less stuff, like extra stuff in the ingredients. That's why I went with this one. The other one had stuff I can't pronounce, and I figured if I can't pronounce it, I shouldn't be eating it.
Probably not eat it, but yeah.
True Reuben, what they do is that they mix the sauerkraut with the dressing to put it on the sandwich.
Yeah.
And they use rye. So you know what? Play with it, see what you like.
So, and then we have ciders going with this tonight because again, I wanted to do ciders this fall. However, I've had this one cider in my refrigerator for a long time. It's an Austin blood orange cider.
Oh, that's
all right. And then I'm going to use it because this hard cider, I'm going to tell you, this has been a favorite of mine over the years, is Angry Orchard. Now, I've tried a ton of other main brands that do an apple cider. Right. Angry Orchard has just got it right. All right. They have the combination that's just right. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've tried to sell it. I've tried all kinds of different other brands of it. Just not the same as Angry Orchard. They put the right amount of flavor into it. This is my Angry Orchard. All right. And I'm going to compare the two. This is the blood orange cider. So okay. I'm not sure I've never had this before. So that's going to be a first taste.
Okay.
Let's see what it's like.
Well, what I have is Irish cider, Magners. And there's two different ones. This is an original and this is a pear.
Okay.
So those are the two
that I have. Cider ought to be good.
Yeah. And I was like, well, you know what? I had it at the office because I was going to go and get Portland cider, which is one of my favorite ciders here.
Yeah.
In case you all are wondering what I'm doing, yes, I am putting mayo. Mayo instead of butter. You could put butter. I'm putting mayo. And that is what's going to go on the pan side, not on the inside, but on the pan side.
Okay.
All right. So that you can do that with grilled cheese also. You can put mayo instead of butter. Oh my goodness, this is pretty good.
I know. I was taking bites out of it. I mean, Gwen made these, and I was starving because we started late. Gwen, I literally went and took like a spoons of it out of the dish before it went into being made. It was that good.
I'll toss that later. I have my little dish. Oh.
So, my blood orange cider has got an interesting taste.
Okay. Interesting. Good.
Good, yeah. You know, I want to know what's the flavor I'm trying to go for. It's like that. Not it's like that musty of accent of cider is in there, but the flavor is just a little bit off.
So I am going to add sauerkraut to my Thousand Island over here, just to give it a little something, something. Because this is going to be for dipping. So usually this would go inside the Reuben sandwich, but I'm not putting it inside the Reuben sandwich. I'm just putting it as a dip. So it's going to be a little different. This way. And one thing that I didn't do is I was going to check to see if I had a cider here, but I didn't actually look. So I have no idea if I have a cider. These two ciders were at the office.
Of course, now I'm gonna have a little bit of. Now that I've eaten two of them, and Gwen put a spicy mustard on mine. She did a honey mustard on one of the other ones.
Nice. Okay.
I'm gonna try it with this apple cider now. That again, Angry Orchard's apple. I had green apple. It to me was a great cider.
Got some good color in that.
And goes well with this dish.
This is I'm going to use this one to cut.
Oh, wow.
I know. Talk about this is my other one. That way I can get a good picture. This is going to look nice. Because like I said, I was running a little late, so I'm like, I hadn't put all my stuff the way that I normally do ahead of time. So we're doing it after the fact, and that's okay. My quesadilla is done already. That's how quick you can make a quesadilla. And that's why I didn't feel too bad that I hadn't done everything already, because I knew that I would have a little bit of time, or it wouldn't take me that much time. But it's already done. See, look at that, the color. And then the color on.
I like mine a little bit of brown on there, so.
Yeah, I like a little bit of brown. It got a little soft, moved. I usually like my nice riquísimas tortillas, but with when I'm making a quesadilla, I like it to be a little bit thicker just because it holds better. It's not going to break on you as easily.
Yeah.
But this is the other side, a little bit less golden, but still, looks pretty.
Yeah. Good.
And
this just goes to show, I mean, and how many other ideas you can come up with to put on a quesadilla.
Oh my goodness. Ham.
Chili.
Yeah, you can do a lot with the quesadilla. Well, actually, I'm going to use this one actually to cut, and then I'll put it on the plate. Mainly because I don't want to. I don't like to use my knives on anything that's like a surface like that. It just, in my opinion, it.
Wait a minute. What kind of cutting board do you have? Okay, yeah, we only do wood cutting boards at our house.
I do have a wood one, but it's a little one. Yeah. I lost my really good one in the flood, as somebody called it one time. So it's been a while, but this is just my go-to. And now that I've cut it, you can then make it look all pretty.
So yeah, like I'm going to show you when you put it up there for pictures. I still have 3 of mine up here.
All right.
So
I'm going to make it look all kind of give it a different look. So that way it's, oh, I love your golden color. Let me get a picture because that looks super.
I think it's because I think she fried these originally. She did them in the cast iron pan and then put them over. I mean, to kind of to brown the tortilla, then she put it in to cook.
I want to get just yours. That looks good. Yeah.
So,
and then of course, here's my little dressing. And so now I'm going to open these little puppies. These are Magners, so Irish cider since 1935 from the juice of 17 apple varieties. And this one is hard cider from premium pears. I'm not going to be able to finish both of these. I still got, stuff I need to get done, so I need to be coherent. But I do want to try both of them. And I'm usually not one that drinks a whole lot of cider, but we got to sometimes try different things, and we're going to look at the different colors and the different tastes. And I love getting the rind whenever I get that cheese. Kroger just does so well with their cheeses. And if you keep the rind, you can then put it in soups. So don't feel like, oh, I have to get rid of it now. So here
I think we just got our cheese at the deli cheese.
Okay. So this is the pear, the lighter color, and this is the apple, darker color. But this one is very rich color. I mean, it's a darker than
is that brown or pink?
No, it's kind of like a orange color.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more of an orangey kind of color.
I think that's what I meant by brownish, but orange, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get the picture here because I'm gonna put them right next to each other. And I'm trying, one's my Quartz Mountain Distillery and the other one's my Casa Noble, but we got to see if we can get I'm gonna clean my lens here.
So with the ciders in the Angry Orchard, I think we did probably about 3 years at when we have Dallas Mavericks tickets.
Okay.
When we were on the upper level, there was a place down on the lower level that had Angry Orchard, and I would go there. And I remember the lady who was always there to serve me. That's what I drank for 4 years going there.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get beers and stuff like that. It wasn't until then it was in the later years when we moved down to the lower seats that we started getting different beers, wines, and then they had the Jack Daniels. For a long time, they had the Jack Daniels bar there, which they took out and put a Patron bar in. But my last year there was a Patron bar, but the Patron bar had my other whiskeys I liked. So
okay.
But to me, it's like a refreshing, and I know mine's it's because I'm pulling it out of the fridge a little bit, and it's not and it's slowly going down in temperature. But it is it's almost like a great refreshing alcohol version of apple juice.
Okay.
And I like the apple juice, right? I like the apple flavor.
Right.
All right. So, and then this other one is blood orange, which I think you and I had the Goose blood orange beers from that one brewery you and I went to. And I had some here in the fridge, but I think I finished my last one yesterday. I love blood orange flavored stuff. So the blood orange cider as well as a blood orange beer. Really a woohoo type.
I actually like, woohoo.
Yeah.
I prefer the pear.
Yeah. I'll bet. I haven't had a pear cider. It's been a long time. I've had pineapple ciders, which I like. I've had orange ciders. But I don't think I've had a pear cider. And how does it pair how do you think it pairs with the food?
One, I like the flavor by itself. It's not that's the problem I have with ciders. I usually will do a dry cider.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have that sweetness to it.
Yeah.
Similar to a sparkling wine. I prefer a dry. I prefer a brut. So brut or dry, those have the less sweetness. This one is not super sweet. The apple, I don't know. It has a weird taste to it. This one, I don't care for it. I don't like it. I'm not going to drink any more of it. It just has a funky taste. But the pear one, it tastes good, and I also like the way it pairs. I like the way the pear pairs with the sauerkraut.
But did you put apples in? Tell me about your recipe for the Reuben Quesadillas. What do you have in it now? Exactly everything again.
I kept it simple. I did the cheddar cheese. Excuse me. Well, yes, Swiss cheese. Then I put the corned beef. Then the sauerkraut, and then the cheddar cheese, mild cheddar cheese on top. And then, of course, I put the mayo on the tortilla. So I put the mayo at the bottom, then I put the tortilla on the pan. Then I put all the ingredients. Then you all saw me put the mayo on the other one. And then I put it on top with the mayo side up. Then I just flipped it over. Okay. That's it. In my little dressing, Thousand Island, and I added sauerkraut to it.
Okay, so I made the dressing. I'm dripping the dressing, but in ours, we've put, we've got the corned beef, we've got the sauerkraut, and we put in chopped up apples. And then we added a spicy mustard to it, and you put the mustard onto it to cook before cooking. All right. And that mustard cooked into it is really an interesting taste. And then I'm dipping it into a Russian dressing, which I shared the recipe I made earlier tonight.
I love cooking with mustard. So many years ago, I didn't like mustard. I didn't. I can appreciate mustard now. And I love all different types of mustards, depending on what I'm having. If I'm having like brats, I love having like 4 or 5 different types of mustard that I can dip into all of them.
Yeah.
It's fun. But I didn't like mustard. However, I used to love cooking with mustard. So one time I got this chicken, completely just smothered it in mustard, whole chicken, smothered in mustard, covered it, put it in the oven. That came out so tender, so delicious. The flavors that the mustard gave that chicken, it did not taste like mustard. When you cook mustard, the flavors change completely.
Again, my ribs I do. I know a lot of guys use mustard as their binder. I've never done mustard yet as a binder on it yet. Maybe I should try.
But with this pear cider, and I might have a cider in here. I just didn't look. But the original Magner, no, thank you. I had it, and I think I bought it for one of our podcasts. I just didn't open it, but I didn't care for it.
Well, both of my ciders are here in the refrigerator because they were bought for something else we were going to do on the podcast and do.
Okay.
All right. Which I was telling somebody that this weekend. They're asking about the alcohol in my house. I've got tons of it. Why? I buy it for a podcast, and then we end up not doing it on the podcast, and it just sits there until we do it on the podcast. No. Whereas this food recipe tonight has been a household favorite of ours. And it's just, I think I brought it up 2 weeks ago to Gladys, and I said we should do this on the podcast. And then we talked about, fall, all right, almost always on a fall when you want to have ciders in a fall.
Right.
So that's why we had decided to do a cider, because really cider is, the rest of our week, cider is not really going to fit in. So we had to kind of squeeze it in this week. So anyway.
Adding the sauerkraut into the Thousand Island. I really like that.
Now my recipe called for I put dill relish in mine, but it called for chopped up dill pickles. I didn't want to chop up the pickles. All right.
And you didn't make it too sweet because sometimes relish can add sweetness to it.
Well, you could do it with sweet. I have dill relish. I'm a dill relish person. Gwen's a sweet relish person, but I probably have 2 containers of dill relish here in the house. Probably about 4 different kinds of mustards. All right. Which every now and then I go get like a thing of brats or sausages and cook them up. And I always, even with hot dogs, I'll cook hot dogs up. I'll put, put the sauerkraut into it, the mustards. When I do that, I like to have some chopped up onions in there too. So
I have coarse ground Dijon.
Yep, got that.
Stone ground. So coarse ground and stone ground. Mm-hmm. And as you can tell the difference in each of them. Mm-hmm. This here is the stone ground.
Yeah.
And coarse ground. You can see the grains in there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I have yellow mustard up here somewhere. I had another mustard, but I think I used it already. So I know I have others. I do like mustard. I've learned to really appreciate mustard. I really like this recipe. I do it again. Oh. Usually when I make quesadillas, I keep it simple. Cheese. That's it. Tomatoes. Sometimes I will throw tomatoes in there. Sometimes I will throw ham in there. I'm trying to think of what bacon. I've thrown bacon in there, but I'm more likely to add ham than bacon. That's just my preference. I love bacon. Oh my goodness, I love bacon. But I think ham just goes better in a quesadilla.
Okay, so the quesadillas I want to do, we'll do this, probably do this in the spring. It's not really a quesadilla, but it's it's a Big Mac.
Oh, okay.
You've seen that one, right? Where people have done that?
What I've done is a Big Mac salad.
Same concept, but instead we're putting it on a tortilla. So you're cooking the beef on your tortillas, and then you're putting everything in between. And then you put it together and cut it up. All right, because the lettuce and stuff, the lettuce, tomato, stuff like that, you want to keep cold.
So that would be the dressing on top of it.
So yeah, basically you the way you cook it is you do it, because think about Big Mac. I mean, you flatten your meat down, flat. All right, and then you cook it like an open face.
Oh, see, the way I would have done it, I would have ground the beef okay, and after it was cooked like a ground beef, then I would have put it into the tortilla.
Now this one here does it flat. You flatten it out like a flat hamburger,
okay.
And you basically, what you're doing is you're putting the hamburger down, you're putting the tortilla on top of it. After it's cooked, rather than flip the burger, you're flipping the whole tortilla. All right, and now you've got some of your juices going in there. Well, if you do it right, because you're smushing down very flat to go with your tortilla, you're doing 2 patties. Mm-hmm. All right, and then you're putting your cheese on top of it. Then you're putting your lettuce, your tomato. All right, all your little fixtures in between. 12 beef patties, lettuce, whatever. You put all that stuff in between because the lettuce and stuff stays cold. So you think, well, that's the fixings on the top.
Okay, yeah, I would even throw the onions inside, but the lettuce and the tomato, pickles, do you put the pickles on top or do you put the pickles inside?
I would put the pickles inside, but I would put them. Everything goes inside because it's after you do it, you put it all together, and then you cut it up like a tortilla.
See the way I would do it?
Yeah.
I would leave the lettuce and the tomatoes out and put them on top, so that way I can have my quesadilla with the lettuce and the tomato on top.
On top of the quesadilla.
Yeah, kind of like I'm doing the dressing.
Yeah.
So that's, because you always need a garnish for a quesadilla, whether it be guac or anything else. In this case, it would be the lettuce and the tomatoes.
Yeah. Anyway, so
with everything inside. I like the idea.
So that's one I wanted to do. There's other like hamburger places I've gone to that have specialty burgers that I would like to do that way as well. Mm-hmm. All right, because it's a lot less filling. So like there was different smash burger recipes that I used to love that they don't have anymore, and basically we could do that. That could be an episode in the spring. So for this week, we wanted to do this. And next week, we're going to actually start doing Thanksgiving. And we're actually going to do something very unique for Thanksgiving this year. Is we're going to do all the stuff we have, but the bird.
No bird.
No bird. Just all the other stuff you would have. And that's what we want to have our conversation around. So next week, if you come by next week's episode, watch live, right, tell us about the things that you do that goes with your turkey. So we're not doing our turkey. I usually add a ham, but I'm not going to do the ham, right? But I'm going to do things like, talk about my rituals. I'm probably going to be serving it with a Bloody Mary. Did we agree on what we were going to eat and drink with it? I don't remember.
No.
I don't think we did. But I mean, because I have a Bloody Mary in the morning, so. It's extras, and we just have it with wine. But anyway, I'm going to have my morning Bloody Mary with it, so on the episode, and then I'll talk about other things I have throughout the day.
So don't be stuck on the wine. I think we just threw it out there to throw it out there.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The sauerkraut in this Thousand Island.
Yeah. I've never done a sauerkraut in the dressing. So
I like it because you have a little bit of the sauerkraut that's warmed and it's gone around the corned beef and the cheese. That's just done its thing because some of the juices are going to get in there. But then having the sauerkraut juices and the sauerkraut in the Thousand Island, it just has a different flavor outside. And pairing it with your pear cider, it just gives it a nice little balance because it has a slight sweetness, but not that rich sweetness that I don't like. Otherwise, I would have been like, oh yeah, I'm done. Let me grab a beer or something else. But yeah, this is pretty good. I'm not going to finish it. And the other thing is, y'all, I did use the bigger tortillas.
Yeah, I did too.
You can always use the smaller tortillas.
I use flour.
Yes. Oh yeah, quesadilla, it's flour. You do not use corn on quesadillas.
Yeah, I prefer flour, but anyway, I'm sure there's people who are going to try to do it with corn. God rest their soul. Anyway,
I don't know what that's called, but it's not a quesadilla.
But I mean, there's tons of things you can do on a quesadilla. This is probably just one of the most unique ones that you'll ever find. And I really encourage you guys to experiment with them and really think about what you're going to pair. Again, we come up with this recipe because of the fact that I wanted to do ciders. Apple goes very well with this. All right. And as you see, pear goes very well with this. Would highly encourage you to find out one of those matches things that are matching for you.
I'm done. I still have 2 big pieces left.
I finished all of mine, but then again, I was starving when we started.
I'm done. I was starving too. I had breakfast at the Black Bear Diner. Business meeting, going through life insurance and breakfast and chatting over that. And then I got my day going. It's like, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. And I did not have time because I had leftovers because it's the Black Bear Diner and there's just so much food. So I had leftovers and it was their Shasta veggie scramble. It was yum. And I was going to have that with the red skin potatoes for lunch. I didn't have time. I was just go, go, go. And so I was hungry. But I usually don't eat this much quesadilla. I mean, this is the most I've had because this is more than half.
No.
I had 3 pieces. So I had 4 pieces, 2 left. That's going to be tomorrow's dinner, I think. Because I like to reheat it. If I'm going to reheat this, it's going to be on a pan or the air fryer. I'm not going to reheat it in the microwave because the tortilla will get all doughy. And I do not like doughy tortillas.
No, the way to reheat them. Now, I've done these reheated. If you've got them cooked to go, is air fryer.
Okay.
All right. Air fryer or toaster oven. Even if you have to use the toaster oven setting because it will do the same thing. All right, but you got to watch because it will cause your tortilla to burn quicker.
Yeah.
But it will keep the crispness to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug in my phone because I see a little red light that popped up, which means it's dying. I still got stuff to do, so I'm going to keep that going.
Yeah. So
that's what we got for y'all today. I know it's a slightly shorter episode, but we're going to try to stay to somewhat of our timeline as to when we end, especially for those of us or those of you like Robert that are how many hours ahead of us? Is he on your same time zone or is he?
I don't know. I thought Robert was on East Coast time zone, but I could be wrong.
Okay, which means that he's 3 hours ahead of me, 1 hour ahead of you.
Yeah.
But try it out. Play with your quesadilla. What do you like to put in your quesadilla?
Yeah, play with it. So.
And one way that you can tell us what to do, and we may or may not take your offer, Mr. Kurt. No, I will not do the Malort. I keep reminding him of that, but I keep bringing it up. But you all can share some of the ideas that you might have of what to put in a quesadilla. And who knows, in the spring, we might bring it up.
Mm-hmm. All right. A couple things before we go is make sure you go by our website, likethewayyoudrink.com. Join our Insiders Club, our Insider VIP Club. All right. Become part of the Tasters. Become part of the experience here with us. Free to join, but you must be 21 years of age to join. This podcast is brought to you every week by Gladys and I's businesses. We pay the bills around here to make this happen. That's why we actually have fun doing a podcast, but our companies pay the bills. We're both self-employed people. So I basically, we're going to do a short run tonight of just Gladys is going to tell you about her business. I'm going to tell you about mine for a real quick thing and how you can get a hold of us. So go ahead, Gladys.
Gladys Boutwell, Insurance by Design, helping you become employer of choice through providing employee benefits. There are 101 different ways you can attract and retain quality staff through benefits. So how do you do that? If you don't know where to start, if you go to Insurance Design Pros on the upper left-hand corner, there is a one-pager. Well, it's really a 3-pager, but it's the high level. If you want to find my book, it is on Amazon. So that way you can figure out how do you do that. But if you want to have closer conversation, go to enrollnoworegon.com. That's my calendar. Yes, you can get on my calendar. We'll spend a half hour talking about what do you want to do and how do you go about doing it. There's certain things I can do, other things I can't, but I got people. And if you're not in Oregon or Washington, guess what? I probably know somebody in your state. So enrollnoworegon.com. Let's start the conversation. And this is my co-host.
Hey guys, Tim Gillette, Simple Easy Websites. We build the websites, templated websites for the small business, the entrepreneur, and the solopreneur out there who's just getting started or is on the level where they really don't need a complicated website. Using templates, we're able to get a site up for you faster, keep it maintained, and keep it running for you nonstop, 24/7, and make it focused on generating leads for your business. Simple, easy websites, because we hate ugly websites. So we build websites that are so cool that even Google shows up. Anyway, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode, we were going to say cheers, and we were going to see you guys next week.
Cheers, y'all.